Hello new pilots and ground crew. Right, just two quick tips, but it's not exactly two quick tips. It's more like one tip and a recommendation. And this part is the recommendation. Now, if you're building your first quad, if it's a 5-inch quad or a 3-inch quad, you're gonna want a buzzer. And the thing is, it's so easy just to look on a website, see a buzzer, and it'll say quad buzzer or something, and grab it. And you could make a mistake and grab a big one for a little quad or a little one for a big quad. Because, for argument's sake, if I'd got, say, a 3-inch little quad like that, and I bought that buzzer for it, well, it'd be bloody loud, but there's absolutely no way I'd fit it inside anywhere, because it's almost as big as the bloody inside of the quad. Right, so it's really more of a recommendation here. If you're going to be flying something like one of these tiny little quads, 2-inch, 3-inch, I recommend, right, the new-ish buzzer, the FullSpeed. Right, this one here, I've got one in there. You probably see it actually. I was using the Hellgate buzzer, but that got damaged and they're quite expensive actually. So I moved on to these, whoops, getting shot, moved on to these FullSpeed. There you go. Put that there, you can see it. The FullSpeed buzzers. And they're bloody good. They are bloody good buzzers. Right, I'm not going to go into all the details about how to work them or out like that. Right, there'll be links in the description. Go read the manual yourself. I'll give you the most basic rundown. You wire 3K. You get your cables with it. Right, in here. Get them. They're in there. You get your cables with it. Right, and you just solder on the 3 cables, and you've got your red, your black, and another black, right, which is your ground, your live, and your BB minus, which is like another ground. And the reason for that is it's so that if your battery gets ejected from your model, your buzzer will go off, because these things have a little battery with them. Right, but you've probably heard about them before. But this particular one though that I'm recommended, it's got a little button on top. Right, you can set if you want it to ring every 30 seconds for an hour, every 20 minutes for a 16 million years. Right, it'll come ready to go. If your battery gets ejected, it'll start beeping after 30 seconds, and it'll beep for about an hour or two or whatever. You're going to find your model by then, right, especially with a 3-inch, because you're going to have a rough idea where it is somewhat small. You're not going to be going long distance or out. To turn it off, little button on top, right, you press it 3 times to turn it off. If you've got it inside your model and you can't get at it, like that one, there's no way I can get at the buzzer in there, the button of the buzzer in there. Can't get at it at all because it's buried right inside the quad. All you do is unplug the actual LiPo, right, from your quad, plug it back in again, right, leave it about 7 seconds or whatever, then unplug it again, and that's it. The battery's got turned off. Brilliant. Now this one here, let's just zoom out a little bit, way up there lad. This one here I recommend for your bigger quads, right, your 5-inch or whatever, and you'll see I've got one in there. Alright, and what these are, this is your Vifly buzzer. Exactly the same principle, little bit, well, a lot louder actually, right? Even though these little ones, you can hear them on your little 3-inch models, because don't forget, you're going to be flying reasonably close to yourself with a 3-inch model, so you're going to have a rough idea, right? But with a 5-inch quad, you could be wandering all the way around the fields and all like that, so you've got more of a chance of it getting lost. So that's why these are a lot louder. Once again, basically, it comes with the wires, right? Solder it to your board exactly the same way as I've just mentioned. All the instructions are in the manuals, right? Another link to this one if you want to get them. Right, this is more of a just so you know type video rather than you must buy. It's a just so you know for new pilots. And once again, when you finish flying, you unplug your main light port and just hold the button in on the side, hold it in for about 3 seconds, and the beeper goes off. Right, and these Vifly Finder, well, this is the number 2 version. Right, I've looked at the box. It comes in a nice little plastic box, which I'll be keeping for screws and bits and pieces. But yeah, so like I said, this is number 2 version, and they're bloody good. Right, but just don't get them mixed up. Don't buy the little one for the big quad or the big one for the little quad. That's all. It's only a little tip, right? But like I said, it's more of an information type thing. Now, what is a tip? Tip number 2, right, is flight control boards. A very important tip for new pilots. You go out, you get yourself a brand new flight control board or whatever. I've got a busted one here to show you something. Right, that's a busted one. Right, now I haven't even had that in the model yet, and it's bust. Now I can't send it back because if you notice, I've got all the solder on it. Right, so there's not a shop in the country that will give me a new one because I've soldered it up. Right, and they could say, or they will say, well, you've probably shorted out the board as you're soldering it or something like that. This particular one, I say it's bust. There's ways around it. All it is the USB adapters come off. I need to fix it. But you understand. So the second you get your new board, no matter what board it is, no matter where you get it from, right, don't put a dab of solder on it. Plug it straight into your computer, get it on your Betaflight or whatever you're using. Test the board works. Very important. Test the board works. And if the board works okay, then whack it in a model, get it soldered up, get it going, get it flying. But you must test the board first before putting a dab of solder on. And when you're plugging it in, if it happens to be a board like this one, right, that has the VTX built in, always make sure you have a plug of some description, right, covering into your VTX port. Never ever power on a VTX without the FPV antenna of some description. Right, it's not good practice. There are 1 or 2 VTXs out there which will allow you to do it. Right, but like I said, it's only 1 or 2, so it's not good practice. Always think to yourself, an FPV antenna of some description must be plugged into my VTX before powering it up. So yeah, that's all I wanted to mention. So as you can see, I've got a new one there, got another build coming up soon. Just put this away. If you're interested in one of these, right, you get a little buzzer with it, you get your XT60, you get your FPV antenna inside. Oh, you can't see, but you get all the cabling, the wires and everything on the inside. You'll get a little capacitor. You get everything with these. They are brilliant. Right, brilliant little boards, right, for your 5-inch quads. Yeah, HGLRC. It's the F4 V5 Pro. Anyhow, well, you can see that there. Look, there you go. But it's not really about buying it. Right, it's about make sure you don't put any solder on your boards. New pilots, right? Test your board first, because if there is something wrong with it, you want to get it exchanged or your money back, and you won't be able to do that if you've already got solder on the board. Right then, pilots and ground crew, just a couple of really quick tips for brand new pilots that I thought might be useful. Well, the buzzer, the reason why I did this, right, a friend of mine bought one of these buzzers, right, for his micro quad. He didn't realise it. He'd seen the buzzer, I think it was on GearBest or something, and he'd seen it and thought, oh, that's a good price, click, buy, pay. It arrived, and bloody hell, he didn't check the size out like that. So a couple of buzzers, links in the description. If you're not sure about what size to buy, you'll see them. FullSpeed for your little quads, and your Vifly for your bigger quads. Right, and there's your flight control board if you're interested in that, but it's not really about buying the flight control board, it's just a tip. Okay then, new pilots, hope you get some out of this. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching and cheers.